money's on the screen tonight. Secrets out in plain sight. Luxury homes at half the price. Making
My mom always talked, oh, you think like this because you're American. And then the American people would tell me, yeah, and the American people think, oh no, you're Middle Eastern, you know, you have Middle Eastern mentality.
Right. Hello everyone, so today we have Yanni, a friend of mine, a person I was working for a long time now. We're going to be talking about, he's a mortgage lender and how he became a mortgage lender and what he thinks overall about real estate. Then I will share his contacts with you guys, so if you would be interested in getting the better rates, you could talk to Andrew. So welcome to our place, Andrew. Could you talk a little
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you.
Could you talk about yourself? How?
My name is Andrew Yanni. I am the broker owner of a company called Fast Action Mortgage. We're centrally located in Santa Ana, California. I've been in the mortgage business now since 2008. I don't know if you remember, but I don't know what you were doing in 2008, but
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. Don't age me, but I was a young kid. I was about 21, 22 years old. Graduated college, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
Thank you for watching, and I would like to mention that this video is sponsored by my company. We help landlords to maximize their rental income. Normally, we take the property, say it's been rented for $3,000. We help landlord to make about $5,000 and charge about 10% from the profits. This is what we do. If you guys interested, if you're a landlord and looking for that company that would help you with getting more rent, just letting you guys know, I'm also a realtor in California. Any part of California you're looking for real estate, property for yourself, live with a family, or for investment, I'm your guy. Feel free to hit me up in the DM.
So your parents are from Egypt?
Yeah.
You've been born here?
Yeah.
How was it growing up as a second generation immigrant? Did you get bullied? Was it tough? Was it easy?
I got bullied a little bit in school when I was younger.
Interesting.
Yeah. Everybody gets kind of bullied in school.
But the thing is, like, a majority of population here are like Hispanic people. Don't they accept you?
I went to a school. When I was younger, I looked a little bit more Hispanic than I look
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
I lost my hair and all that stuff. I look a little bit different now.
Right.
But when I was younger, I looked a little bit more Hispanic. All my friends were different, like, races. Nobody was the same. So, like, my school was all diverse. I played basketball.
Right. It wasn't like a race thing then. You get just bullied because.
No, but I mean, everybody gets bullied. I mean, yeah, everybody gets bullied. No, I got bullied. The second generation thing, or like, my parents were not born here, so like connecting with my parents was a little bit more difficult than somebody like you who were born in the same country. That's the big difference that you don't understand is my mom always talked, oh, you think like this because you're American. And then the American people would tell me, yeah, and the American people think, oh no, you're Middle Eastern, you have Middle Eastern mentality.
Right.
No, I don't know what I am.
Did they came up with examples like back in the home country? It was so hard to.
Yeah,
you were so lucky to be born in America.
Yeah, of course. They have to walk a lot. Actually, in Egypt, there's no parking, especially in Cairo. So even when you park at your house, when you drop off your groceries at your house, they have to drop off the groceries at the house, and they have to park like a half a mile away. You know what I mean? Right. And then they have to, walk back.
Why I'm asking is because, to be honest, it's kind of a little bit selfish to ask this kind of question in the podcast, but I'm just using the opportunity by introducing you. And this is, I think, one of the main concerns of all immigrants, because abundance they have in the United States, there's no place in the world that you can get whatever toy you want, and obviously
especially with Amazon now.
all the parents who had a tougher childhood are always concerned about, like, isn't it like way too easy for my kids to live in this kind of, like, no challenges, no nothing,
I mean, my kids are even worse, so don't even start. My kids have a very I think they have a very good life.
You went to UC Riverside, and
I did, yeah.
You did MBA there.
I didn't at another school. I went to after I went UCR. I just got a bachelor's degree from UCR. I got a political science and law degree, like in undergrad at UCR. And then I took some time off. That's when, in about 2008, 2009, I was starting in the mortgage business, but nobody was making money. But I didn't understand because I was 21. I thought nobody, it's normal not to make money,
Right.
Obviously, I didn't know that it's not normal because like two years ago, people are driving Ferraris and Bentleys and whatever, and I'm coming and, you know, I have no money. I mean, I always tell the story, it took me a very, very long time to make money, and I wouldn't not have made it in this business. The thing is, I was young, so I was able to withstand not making money.
Right.
You can't be 35, 40, 45 years old and still making...
You have a caution.
To make very, very little money when you're young is easy than when you're older, because I didn't have kids, I didn't have anything.
Live with your parents, much easier.
I lived with roommates, but man, you're talking about, at one point you're talking about $400 a month, $500, so I was living off unemployment. It's not a big deal. And my car is $200, and
right.
I could live, you know.
So where did you your MBA?
A place called New England College. It's a school. It was an online education.
Do you still think it's worth to do MBA at the people? There's a thing called executive MBA for like our age people, and most of our viewers are like the same age. Check the age on the YouTube. Most of the people who watch are in their mid-30s, 40s. Do you think it would be like a good idea to go and do MBA? Like most of my friends who do the MBA after they're 35s, they regret about it. And most of them tell it's a waste of time.
I'm not going to say it's a waste of time. It depends on the person. That's my opinion. My opinion is that it depends on what you're doing with your life. Like, number one, why are you getting an MBA?
Right.
What do you think it's going to do for you? Like, I have friends, and some of my wife's friends who they got master's degrees. I don't even know why they're going to make another $10,000 a year. I think if you just work harder, you can make another $10,000 a year.
You're talking about 9 to 5. You're not talking about self-employed.
No, I'm talking about people with a job. But usually, if you have an MBA, you're probably not self-employed. Why are you guys? Nobody. I mean,
thing is, depends on the school though. Like some schools
I would
just
never.
network.
Yeah, but I would never get an MBA if I was self-employed.
Right.
This is somebody who wants to work at a company, and they're going to give you a promotion. That's why I would get an MBA, to get a promotion, or like a lot of times at a place like, some of my buddies work at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is like one of the #1 financial firms in the United States. You have to get a master's degree. So sometimes you have to do it if you work at some of these big companies. But if I didn't work there, if I was self-employed, which I am now, do I regret getting my master's? I don't know if I regret it, but I didn't need it. I didn't really need it.
Was it a family that was pushing you to
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah, my family, my mom especially, immigrant families, they push education. I got my master's degree I got it for my mom, just to prove that, like,
yeah, you're a good kid.
I'm a good kid.
Gary Vee says like colleges, 90% of the colleges are useless. Obviously, as you said, it really depends on the person's situation. I have another question, Andrew. So you were talking about why people do this, why people do that. What is your why? Why you wake up every day? Why you? Obviously, family, kids, but what else?
I just want to make the most out of my life. Basically, that's like the main thing, I guess you could say. What is my why? Dude, these are tough questions. Okay. I see a lot of like lazy people that are like satisfied.
Wasting their time.
They're wasting their time, I guess you could say that, but they're satisfied with being average. I saw people that were not as smart as me, they didn't work hard as me, and they're making really good money. So I used to see that when I was a kid, and even when I was in my like early 20s, when I was growing up in the mortgage business. And I thought, dude, these guys I'm smarter than them. Why am I not making money? So I think it was just, my why is just, I'm just trying to make the most out of my opportunity. Like, we're here in this country, like you just said, you talked about, this country has endless opportunities, so I just want to make the most of it. Obviously it's really hard too, so it's not easy. I work my ass off every day to get to where I'm at. And every day I got to continue to work more and more, because that next person is trying to take your spot, so you got to continue to.
So do you think talent is over hard work, or hard work is over talent?
It depends on the business. I mean, in my business, it's going to be the hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah, because the talent.
How about luck? Do you believe in luck, or?
No, they say
still hard work. Huh?
That's what luck is. It's when talent meets opportunity, right? Or I'm sorry, when hard work, whatever the saying is, when hard work meets opportunity.
Right.
That's what luck is.
Well, tell us how your day-to-day schedule looks like. You wake up, gym probably.
Day-to-day schedule. I try to go to the gym. I go to the gym. My schedule is 3 days a week. I go to the gym right now. I want to do more, but dude, I'm dead. Some days I need some rest days.
Yeah.
So I do the gym 3 days a week. But if I go to the gym, I wake up.
I have a question. So you kind of, American as opposed to me. I'm not like, although I'm a citizen, but I didn't grow up.
I know, yeah.
So I watch this podcast, and most of the people, especially Americans, they do it like automatically. Like I
Do what on
go to the gym. So I developed this habit whenever I wake up because all my family have dentists. First thing I do, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. As opposed, I found out later when I got married that not people are like that. Like some people forget to wash their teeth. So it's not like a routine.
Yeah.
Do you lead automatically, go to gym automatically, or you kind of make yourself, push yourself to
No, I mean, I don't know. I definitely I push myself to go to the gym, and
Right.
I used to do it more. I don't do it as much
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm just jealous of people who are, who do it automatically.
Like with me, like I wake up automatic. The days I go to the gym, I'll go to the gym. I'll come back. Obviously, I just get a snack, and then I take a shower, and then I get my son. We get him ready for school. He goes to school.
So you still probably wake up at 5 a.m. something like that.
I wake up at about
You're early bird.
6. I wake up at 6.
Yeah.
I wake up at 6. I'll try to be at the gym by 6:30. Yeah, wake up at 6. Try to be at the gym by no later than 6:30. I'm back home by 7:30. My kid goes to school around 8:15, and then I'm at the office by 8:30. Yeah, then my office routine. I'm always the first one at the office.
What was the last one?
And yeah, this is how it goes.
Do you
Yeah.
do the cold calls? Like what?
I don't really cold call now that I've built like a business. Obviously I thank God, but I used to do all the cold calls, but now I don't need a cold call because I still have people I have to call back.
So in order like to start this kind of business, do you have to obviously you have to probably work for someone, have someone mentor you up until you
Right.
get to a certain point, and then you start. Do you have to hustle your way, as they say?
It's the same. The mortgage business is similar to real estate. It's just a lot more. It's a lot more paperwork, and then we get paid. We do get paid less.
Right.
So a realtor will make at least.
And I remember you were telling you also a broker, right?
Yeah.
Why you didn't proceed with having a brokerage instead of?
Well, technically we are a brokerage. We can technically do real estate, but I don't practice real estate. I used to. And that was one of the things I did. And in 2011 and 12, I sold a few homes. I realized the driving around, the calling, it just wasn't. I didn't like it. I liked I like being on. I was always a computer guy, even since when I was a kid. I got my first computer in 1995. It's a long time ago.
Okay.
So I like being on the computer. I like.
But you don't code.
I actually used to code, and I forgot how. But I used to do HTML.
Yeah, that was way ago, man.
Yeah. Like HTML is like old now. I used to do HTML, but I don't do it anymore. Obviously. Yeah. Well,
You guys have like a trainings between your team, meetings.
we try to do.
How do you split your day? Like for instance, in my case, I try to walk over the properties first part of the day, and second part of the day, call with the clients and everything like that. Do you have a similar schedule?
Well, I mean, in the morning I get ready. I just basically I check my emails. I go through everything that needs to get done, and then by the time I have some of the girls when they get into the office, we have our morning meeting. So every day we have a morning meeting to talk about everything that's going to happen today.
Right.
So we have a structure for our day. You know what I mean? Hey, you're doing this. We're doing this. So every day we have a structure. After our meeting, we kind of just get to work. From there on, basically depends on the day. Usually I am just, cleaning up my files and following up and updating my realtors, letting them know where their files are at and things like that. And then at the end of the day, I try to mix it in because at the end of the day, like I'm usually tired, but at the end of the day, I'd like to make my calls, to call people back, to make sure people are getting taken care of. And the main thing in this business, it's really just calling people back or text. Now everybody texts, so I text you, hey, come on, I'll get back to you tomorrow. I'm sorry, but tomorrow.
Following up.
Yeah, just following up, because even if I didn't get to your file today, if you sent me something, at least texting you to let you know.
Yeah. Communication is the key.
Yeah, communication. At least you know that I remember you, and I'll work on it tomorrow,
Right.
but I didn't forget about you, that kind of thing. So
What do you think about this NAR lawsuit? I know we talked about it on your podcast.
yeah.
Do you saw any significant changes or?
It's funny, yeah, because we talked about it, and I talked about it with a bunch of other people. We talked
Should
about it
go
with the
back
guys in the
and
office.
rewatch it.
And what I was saying is nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
So the only thing now we've been doing it. So the difference is now for you guys out there. Now the realtor will put into into your offer.
Right.
And I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. But you know what? I actually encountered a couple of cases where they were not offering. I had to charge buyer. So that started to happen at least.
Well, then you're not going to get full price on your house, okay? So you don't want to pay the realtor. It means less buyers will look at that house. If you're a realtor and you call that listing, we're not offering. We're not looking at this house. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell the listing agent straight up, if you're not if I was the realtor, if you're not going to offer a commission, we're not going to come see your house. I have a good buyer. They really like the house.
Yeah, there is no incentive.
There's no incentive for me to see this house, so they can.
The other thing to be honest, I was wondering what's your opinion on this is, I think there is a conflict of interest because many realtors will bring their clients to crappy houses just to get their commission check, you know. I've saw that this time and time happen. Actually, it happened to me a couple of times.
What do you mean?
For instance, let's say that, you know, the house in Cameron Lane, the one I got, it wasn't that good of a deal back in the day. But the realtor I was working with back in then I didn't have a license. He was keep telling me like, hey, this is the best deal, you have to get it. And then now I understand that was actually maybe a little higher than market price that I paid for that house. But many realtors think about themselves first and then about their clients, which is, again, I think it's a conflict of interest. It shouldn't be like this, don't you think so?
Well,
the code of ethics.
I mean,
says,
of course. Well, that's about you're working with the. I mean, like a realtor is always supposed to think about the client first.
Right.
So I don't know who this realtor.
So far, and I worked with American, non-American realtors. All the realtors I met, I do this test, which I recommend it all the time on my YouTube channel. Find a crappy house that you know is overpriced. It's not a good house. It's not a good. Send it to a realtor. Ask what he will say to you. If that realtor will say, hey, yeah, let's go buy this house, it's a crappy realtor. And the problem is like 95% of realtors I personally met, they would, tell that it's a good deal.
I mean, yeah, again, you just said.
Don't you think
it's not a good realtor? I mean, what I would tell you is, I would say something like, Kamal, I think we can get you a better deal. With
yeah, I know. You actually told me a couple of times.
But if you like this house, you can buy it. But I would buy something else. If I was you, I would buy something else. But
right.
You can buy it if you want. It's your choice. You're the buyer.
What do you think about the wholesaling and sub-2 deals going into the real estate business as we know it? Do you think it will be a part of? I mean, it's actually de facto.
It's a huge part of the business.
Right. What do you think of that? Is it the
Not
future?
sub-2 as much, but wholesaling. I mean, wholesaling is a huge part of the business.
Right.
Yes, I mean, obviously in some states they're requiring you to have a
they changed the law.
They're requiring you to have a real estate license. I think in California you don't need it. You can be a wholesaler. I think for an investor, finding a great wholesaler is a great way to find a good property at an under market, because they put in a lot of work to get these properties. I don't mind paying you if you find me a good deal. Like I bought a property off a wholesaler.
Would you mind sharing who it was? Which wholesaler? Fair Trade?
No, it was. It's not even in. It's not. It's in the city. It's in Indiana, and I don't even remember the guy's name. I gotta go even find it.
Facebook groups.
He emailed me. I found him online. Whatever. We connected. Maybe from a Facebook group or something like that. But we connected a while ago, and I'm investing in a specific area in Indiana because I have a connection in that area.
Right.
Like my wife's family manages a lot of properties there, so I trust them, and they've been doing good so far. And it's going good. It's a city called South Bend, Indiana. I think I told you about.
Yeah, you told me.
But yeah, so I got a deal that I bought it for about $100K.
You did a multifamily or single family?
It's a single family. It's a nice single family home, actually.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of pricey for that area, I think.
$100,000?
Yeah.
How much you want to pay? $5,000?
I don't know. Like I was checking the properties the other day in other states, 70K, 60K. I mean, smaller towns, they're not that.
It's a big, nice brick property with a garage. It's a nice house. It's going to be worth probably like $225. Putting about $50,000 into it.
How come you didn't switch to wholesaling yourself, Andrew? Wholesaling? Was it something that you had interest in?
Wholesaling properties? Wholesaling.
Too much cold calling.
It's not the cold calling. I'm so involved in my business. Like there's so much. I'm just trying to grow my business.
Yeah.
I don't want to. That's why you're asking about. I don't want to do real estate. Number one, I get all my business from realtors.
Right.
And my business is it's a full-time job. It's more than a full-time job. I'm working like 12 hours a day. I don't have time to.
I know.
I've been trying to start another business, and I realized just stick to this and try to grow it, because this is what you're good at.
Right.
And it will make me a lot more money if I'm the best at this. Yes. I'm not ready to let go, but eventually I'm trying to hire more people and build the company, and we're doing pretty well. We had a much better year in 2024. Maybe like 20-25% better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so 2023 was a really bad year for the business.
2023?
And the whole real estate industry was really bad, because that's the first year.
The rates were growing.
The rates were high in all of 2023. They went up in 22, and then they stayed high in 23. So
Right.
Yeah, so and then 24 people got used to the high rates.
Right.
So I think they're kind of like, yeah, I don't know if you bought.
I think the key here is in any business actually. I think it's a diversification. Small focus. I mean, still keep it in real estate, but as I think you did the sub 2 deals, right? Like
Yeah, no, I did.
diversify here and there, but keep the.
But we're pretty diversified. I mean, we're a mortgage company. We do mortgage, but like the products is super diverse. Like we can basically do everything on residential, a little bit of commercial, but diversification in the product line. I have a ton of products for the mortgage business on the residential side. Like we can pretty much finance.
Have you ever thought about getting into commercial? Like as an investor.
As in, what do you mean? As in, like for me
yeah.
to buy commercial properties? Yeah, but units is what like real estate is what I'm good at versus like retail businesses
Right.
or like strip malls or.
There's
That stuff is a little bit harder. I wouldn't mind buying like multi-unit properties because all the clients that I'm working with, that's the financing that we do. So I'm like used to looking at the paperwork and I know the numbers and things like that. But to do like strip malls and whatever warehouses and whatever else.
Let me ask, commercial real estate, vice versus residential. Which one beats? What do you think, and why?
What do you mean by that?
Like, as an average, say someone has a cash, they're thinking about investing. Where should they invest? Commercial or residential? Which one is easier? What are pros and cons? Which one will give more cash? There's a guy, I don't know, maybe you've heard about Manny Koshpin.
Oh,
Yeah, he pretty much used to be a big commercial investor. I think he started to sell courses.
Okay, well, the big difference is commercial. Residential.
More money.
I would start with residential real estate.
Right.
If you're going to be an investor, you have to start with residential. Number one, it's cheaper,
Right.
and it's way easier to get financing.
Right.
It's very hard to get financing on commercial properties. Especially if you go to some of the big banks, they're going to require you to have number one, experience. Number two, a lot of money. But if obviously we have some options for people without experience, but you pay higher rates. It's a way different ballgame for financing. For residential, way easier on financing. You can get in with the low down payments. You can get in with not as good credit. That doesn't exist on the commercial side.
I would say probably the mix of both is multifamily. Don't you think so?
Yeah, but multifamily is still commercial when you're when you're 5 units or more, it's still commercial. So I don't mind it. I just think that I would do it next. Like you need to get your feet wet first in the residential.
Have you ever invested yourself into multifamily, like more than 4 units?
No.
Do you plan to?
If the opportunity, I'm not like dying for it or anything, but yeah, if the opportunity presents itself. But there's also like other things like I don't know if you heard of like a syndication, a real estate syndication. Yeah. That's where you can invest passively. Basically.
Game money's on the screen tonight. Secrets out in plain sight. Luxury homes at half the price. Making dreams oh so nice. Click that play button now.